Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Good evening, everybody. Hey, it's Cutler here on the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club, the Let's Talk to Cutler YouTube channel. And I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for deciding to spend these 1,800 seconds with me this evening. We're going to have a healthy conversation, and I hope a helpful conversation about how to stay the course. And I'll tell you what's in my head, where that really comes from. It's graduation season, and I'm just really thinking about people who put their hands to the chopping block, they put their hands to the grindstone, and they stayed there, and they did whatever it took to realize and recognize their successes. So I want to talk about that, and I want to applaud and commend them. So if this is your first time stopping by, do me a favor, tell somebody, come on, let's talk to Cutler, because he's really going to talk about how to stay the course. We're going to celebrate the graduates in our lives, the young people who are doing marvelous things, and not just young people, but I know some people, not know them personally, but my alma mater said a record this year had graduated a lady who was 83 years old. Yes, 83 years old, who received her doctorate. So it's never too late. You're never too old to learn. So, but I really want to talk about this whole notion of stay the course. So again, just tell people, if this is your first time, just please know this, that this platform is about inspiration, is about motivation, it is about challenging ourselves to think outside of the box, challenging ourselves to show up the best version of ourselves, challenging ourselves to I'm becoming tongue-tied because I'm excited. I want to move into this very quickly. So Cutler, back up and say it again. It is about challenging ourselves to be the best version of ourselves, even in the worst of situations. It is about making sure that we are inspired. It is about making sure that we are motivated. It is about making sure that we are on this trajectory. We're on our way to this space that's called better. And understand that better does not have to happen 5 years or 5 weeks or 5 days or 5 months from now, but better happens right now, because we believe and we know that this is not as good as it gets. This is not the end all be all. No matter how good things are right now, this is not as good as it gets. And even if this is a bad situation, it's not going to be this way always. This too shall come to pass, that sort of thing. So that is the mindset that we share. So I want to thank you all for that. I want to do a shout out to the LTTC VIPs. Those are the first people that I see on my end. And those are the first people that I see on my end. And I'll shout you all out in just a moment. Those are the people who make their way over to the chat sometimes, even before I get there. So I want to say thank you to Annie Cutler, Linda Martin, and T. Cutler. A happy Tuesday to you all. It is the 28th of May, and the month is moving on. And that's another reason I want to talk about how to stay the course, you all, because we're almost halfway through the year. How about that? Some of us set goals. Some of us, there are people who establish New Year's resolutions. I'm not one of those. I will set a goal in the middle of the year, and I give myself a reasonable amount of time to accomplish it and to complete it. But I want to say this. How are you doing if you have a goal, if you have an objective, if you have something that you placed as a monument, something that you want to get to, something that you want to recognize, something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to achieve? How are you doing with that goal? Are you staying the course? And I'll talk about that because I heard somebody earlier say, just stay the course. And I thought, wow, it is very interesting that as a person who, to some degree, linguistics is my thing. It's language and its origin and where it comes from and those sorts of things. And I'm just I was reflecting on that particular phrase today, this whole notion of just stay the course. And I know it's a nautical term, but when people were on the sea and staying the course and what it meant. But generally, when we talk about that, you all, we're really talking about just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anybody distract you. Don't let anybody throw you off your game. Keep going until you get to the end of the race. Keep going until you finish the contest. And even if there are difficulties that you have to pursue, even if there are difficulties that come your way, just pursue your task, pursue your goal, pursue it and see it through to the end. Finish what you started. Realize the success, recognize the success, get the victory in your hand. And that's what staying the course is all about. And so I want to really celebrate all those who are graduating, have graduated, will graduate during this season. Those who will graduate, of course, when we get around to the winter commencements and what have you, but particularly for those who are graduating now, those who are, even if you're not graduating, you're reaching the end of you're reaching an academic milestone. It is the end of a year, those sorts of things. So I want to celebrate you, but I also want to commend you to stay the course. Just stay the course, because there's so many distractions out here. And in the short term, Cutler, really, what does that look like? What does it look like? What it means? It means that you just resist the urge to chase the newest thing that comes out. It means that you filter out all of those distractions. It means that you learn from others, but you learn how to do your own thing. You learn from others, but you still manage to do your own thing. This is staying the course. And I suppose this becomes particularly applicable to some of the young people in my life. Learn from others, but do your own thing. Learn how to say your goodbyes to things that really don't affect you, things that don't help you, things that don't motivate you, things that don't lift you, things that don't push you, things that don't pull you. Learn how to say goodbye to those things, and then don't look back. I guess I'm talking, I'm just really going into this, but this is what staying the course looks like when it comes to these distractions that we sometimes see and that are sometimes tossed our way. Learn how to stay strong in the midst of difficulties and challenges. Learn how to trust yourself and know that you have everything within you to accomplish what you started, finish what you started. Why would I say that, you are? Because the world is full of distractions, so very full of distractions. And so sometimes it becomes a challenge to pursue a difficult task or an activity to the end. If that's what staying the course is all about, okay, Cutler, yes, here's this thing that I want to do. And sometimes it can become difficult. It can become a challenge. That is because the world is so full of distractions. And maybe instead of calling this thing, this evening's conversation, how to stay the course, it should have been titled, how to avoid the distractions, because there are so many of them, you all. And they come to entice us. That's what a distraction comes to do, y'all. It comes to throw you off guard. And if you know people who need to hear this conversation, do me a favor, invite them, tell them to come on, let's talk to Color, because the man is telling us how to stay the course and how to avoid these distractions. It's easy to be drawn into these distractions, to be enticed to do something else, to be enticed to find an alternative, a get rich quick scheme, those sorts of things. And so so the backdrop of this conversation is just me thinking about all of these young people, all of the people who are graduating. It says to me that they have learned how to stay the course. No, it was not always easy for all of them, but I commend you. I applaud you. You did what was necessary. There were things that you may have wanted to do, alternatives that you could have selected, but I commend you because you decided to say goodbye to the things that didn't mean you any good. And that's what it really means. We can learn from you. Sometimes you had to say goodbye to the things that didn't mean you any good so that you could say hello to new opportunities that were waiting for you. Congratulations. I applaud each and every one of you. You learn how to stay strong in the face of doubt and fear and sometimes temptation. I commend each and every one of you. That's what staying the course is all about. Filtering out the distractions. I commend each and every one of you. It doesn't matter the level of where you're graduating. It could be preschool, elementary, junior high, high school, college. It does not matter. What matters to me is that you learn how to stay the course and you are recognizing your victories. You are standing in a place of success. You are standing in a place of accomplishment. And I commend each and every one of you because the world can learn from you how to stay the course. And there's always a next. There's always something else. And as you go into that something else, just learn how to ignore those distractions. From time to time, what does it mean? What does it look like, Color? It means from time to time, you just need to take a break. Step away from your work. Step away from the things that you're doing. Do something a little different. Just take a break. Inhale and exhale. That's one way you can ignore the distractions. That's one way you can learn how to stay the course. And life, you've lived long enough to know that there are things that are going to come your way. There are potholes that you're going to come across. There are some road closures, road blocks that you're going to run into. One of the things that we can know now, that we know now, is to anticipate the distractions. Plan for the distractions, because they don't have as much impact when you expect them to show up. You don't know when they're going to show up, but you know they are going to show up. So from time to time, just look at your text message, check your email, just those sorts of things, and say, you know what? I anticipated some distractions. I anticipated for life to just do what life does. And from time to time, and even though you may anticipate the distractions, I'm going to help us in the short term, you all. Sometimes you just need to turn off the alerts. If you're on social media, you just need to turn off the alerts on your phone. You just need to block some stuff. You just need to avoid doing too much at one time. Sometimes multitasking is not good. I'm just talking about how to help us with these distractions. Fabulous Me here with my son. He graduates. Fabulous Me, please extend my congratulations to your son. That is exactly he is the person and the kind of person that I'm talking about this evening. The one who has stayed the course. I'm sure all of these examples ring true in his journey. Yeah, it is this nautical term that we heard about on the sea, and it means, staying in the right direction, keep going, doing something until it's finished, until you achieve your goals. That's really what staying the course is all about. And I want us to do that. I want us to learn to do that. I want us to understand that we can do it, and it doesn't matter how old, young you are. It does not matter. We can all stay the course. Always. What does it look like, Cutler? What else does it mean? What is it that I can do to stay the course? What is it that I can do to avoid the distraction? One of the things that you can do is accept change. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Give up your need for certainty all the time, and understand and embrace the idea that change is going to happen. Clinging to this whole notion, this illusion of certainty, and that things are going to stay the way all the time, is not reality. Get comfortable, you all. Get comfortable with the idea that things change, with the idea of being uncomfortable from time to time. Get comfortable with the idea that you cannot control everything, but you can control the things that matter. You don't always have to pursue everything that is in front of you. Sometimes you can resist what's in front of you, or you can embrace it. The question is, what are you going to do to accept change? And as life is happening, it does not matter how old or how young you are. Let's do our best to develop this thing that's called courage. From time to time, you ought to do something that makes you uncomfortable. You ought to do something that scares you. You ought to do something that gives you some degree of angst, or some degree of anxiety, or some degree of discomfort. Because what that says to you is you know how to meet this uncertainty face to face and head on. And you bring your own sense of adventure. And you bring your own sense of life into each moment. That's what I call, so developing courage means you say to yourself, listen, nobody has to push me in the pool. Nobody has to do that to me. I am going to do something that takes me outside of my comfort zone from time to time. Let me pursue the things that I would do if I knew I couldn't fail, if I knew I wouldn't fail. Understanding that failure is a possibility, and in some cases a probability, but develop the courage to pursue it anyhow. Develop the courage to do it anyhow. I will never forget when I graduated from high school, I was the only person from my high school class, a very small high school class. I was the only person who left the state to go to college. The majority, in fact, not only the majority, but all of my friends some went on to the military, some went to trade school, some went to other places, and some developed careers doing other things. But out of those of us who went to college right out of my high school, I was the only one who went out of the state. Something new, something different, completely outside of my comfort zone. I'll never forget that. But life has been wonderful. Life has been kind. Life has been gracious. Life has afforded me so many opportunities because I decided to develop the kind of courage that says, no, I can think and be and live and become outside of the box. That's how you stay the course. Do something that takes you out of your comfort zone. And when things throw you off your game, it's okay to stop, breathe, exhale, look around, listen, and make another choice, choose again, take some kind of action. Listen, it means that you're not functioning on autopilot. You are giving yourself the authority, the right, the power to say, let me stop what's going on. Let me call a time out here. Let me assess and reassess, evaluate and reevaluate what's going on. Let me look and see exactly where I am and what's happening. What are my options in this moment? There are always options, and sometimes there are many more options than we think are available to us. But sometimes, if you're going to stay the course, you just have to stop and say, let me look at some other options, because there is a way to get there. There's a way to achieve it. There's a way to do it. There's a way to realize that there are other ways. There are options. Sometimes many more options than we realize if we would just stop, look, choose, breathe, exhale, assess, evaluate, reevaluate, and we do all of those things. And then what we ought to do is choose the option and the possibility that empowers us. Choose the one that's going to open new doors. Choose the one that's going to invite new opportunities, that's going to lead to new discoveries. Maybe it's going to lead me down the road to meet new people, to go through doors that I never knew even existed. Because for every road you choose, every door you open, there is an outcome that awaits you. I need to say that again. For every door that you open, for every path that you pursue, there is an outcome that awaits you. There is a victory that's waiting for us if we would just open the door. There's a success that's waiting for us if we would just pursue the path. There are rewards and goals that are waiting for us. They beckon us. Come get me, says your victory. Come lay claim to me, says your success. But it only happens when we stay the course, when we ignore the distractions, when we don't let the rough waves of life and the seas throw us off. But we learn how to do like the GPS system says and recalculate and recalibrate. We learn how to take responsibility. May I suggest that some of us, we just need to take full responsibility for our outcome and not rest and put our outcome in anybody else's hand except for ours. There is this word that we hear nowadays when we talk about taking responsibility, and sometimes we want to make taking responsibility such a bad thing. Sometimes we'll say, okay, so who's responsible? Whose responsibility is it? Or who was responsible for that? Meaning who was to blame? But something that I read said that when we consider this word responsibility, we should see these two words, responsible or response-able. I am response-able for all of the things that take place in my life, or for the majority of the things that take place in my life. It is up to me to give the response. I have the ability to give a kind of response that says, yes, this is the way it's going to work out. This is the way it's going to turn out for me. Because you all, those of you who have been with me for a while, you've heard me say several times, it's how you respond that matters. So in my mind, responsibility means response ability, your ability to respond, your ability to grab the bull by both horns, your ability to hold yourself fully accountable for the choices and the outcomes. Because I feel better when I'm at the helm. I feel better when my hands are on the steering wheel. I feel better when I get to choose the course that I take, not that somebody else pushes me down that lane or somebody else tells me where to go or I'm riding along with somebody else. But accepting 100% responsibility for my life opens the door to creativity. It opens the door to freedom. It opens the door to personal power. It opens the door for accountability. If I fail, if I stumble, if I fumble, I have accountability for that. But I also reap the benefit of the lesson of learning. Ask yourself, do I want anybody else to take responsibility for my life? Not if you want to stay the course, you don't. Put your hands on the steering wheel and keep them there. Put your hand on the steering wheel and cling to both sides of it for dear life. And do what you need to do to steer your life in the direction that you want it to go. Would you rather have somebody else steering the wheel and just bringing you along for the ride? Or would you rather at some point, to some degree, know where you're going and you take responsibility? I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot. I've just revisited this whole notion of these graduates in this season. I don't think some of them really recognize or realize what they have done, what they have accomplished, what they have overcome, what they have navigated, what they have managed to meander in and out and around, potholes that they avoided, hurdles that they jumped over. Because one of the other things that they do that we can learn from them is they made a commitment and they got started. It was one of those things where nobody had to say to them, what are you waiting for? Nobody had to say to them that life is short and the clock is running. But maybe we need to take that lesson and learn that from them. Listen, your life is short and the clock is running. Life is short and the clock is running. Many of you all know that a couple months ago, I did my grandmother's eulogy, and just 2 weeks ago, I did the eulogy of another relative who didn't quite make it to 80 years old. Life is short and the clock is running. What in your life matters enough for you to risk looking foolish, or worse yet, making a mistake? You have to ask yourself, is it worth me taking a risk of looking foolish or taking the risk of making a mistake? If so, then yes, pursue it, do it. Because a mistake is the way that the world, the universe, it says to you, just take a time out. A mistake is the world, the creator's way of saying to you, here now is a learning lesson. This is where learning takes place. This is where learning happens. I dare say all of the mistakes came to teach me something. Did I stop and sit down and realize it? Not all the way, not all the time. But as I've gotten older, I've discovered mistakes are the things that I need to stop and listen to and look out for. Because that's where learning happens. That's where learning takes place. And so I'm okay. Do I want to make them? No. But am I okay with them? Yes. Because in each and every one of them, I strive now to learn something. What is it that I'm supposed to learn from this mistake? Maybe I need to learn to pursue it. Even if I'm willing to do it. Even if I will risk making the mistake, even if I will risk looking foolish, even if I will risk people talking about me, just learn to do it. Because your commitment Two, the thing has to be bigger than your fear. That's when that right there, that's how you stay the course. That's how you stick to it. That's how you avoid the distractions. When your commitment to a thing is bigger than your fear about the risk that might come your way, nobody can stop you. Nobody can beat you then. My commitment is bigger than my fear. And you say to yourself, there are bigger fish to fry than playing small and staying safe. Why would you say that, Cutler? Because the life that you live, you all, it was meant to be lived in a big scheme, and it was meant to be lived in serving a large purpose, a larger purpose, much more so than some of us have come to realize. That's what purpose is about. You want to stay the course? Discover purpose. Cutler, here we go again with that term. What does purpose mean? What is it all about? Let me see if I could break it down to something practical, something that's very pragmatic, something basic. Purpose. Purpose is what you were meant to do. Purpose is what you enjoy doing. Purpose is what helps others. Purpose is what helps you. Don't get stuck on all of that. Discover your life's purpose sometimes from day to day, and sometimes you don't discover purpose until after you step through it, until after you've lived through it. And sometimes you're looking for purpose, but purpose is also looking for you. Or at least you're looking for it, but it's defining you. Stay on course. It just means that you know who you are, you know where you are, and you know where you intend to go. That's what purpose is all about. I have a journey. I've got a destination. There are things that I intend to do, things that I want to do, and I'm on my way to that thing. I'm on my way to this place that's called better. That's purpose. I want to see that degree, that diploma in my hand. That's purpose. Yeah, I get it. It's a destiny, but as you're moving towards it, you're walking in purpose. I have a clear vision of what I want to do, where I want to go. I'm walking in and on purpose. I have a vision about what I want to have, a vision about where I want to go. That is called purpose, you all. And that's how you stay the course. And another way that you stay the course and you avoid the distractions is you develop this attitude of gratitude. Shift your focus from what's wrong with life, what's going on, woe is me, and consider what are you grateful for. I'm telling you, I know you all hear me say that all the time, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. One of the things that you can always do to stay focused and to stay the course is to adjust and shift your attitude to one of gratitude. Instead of singing a somebody done me wrong song and woe is me and gloom, despair, and misery on me. No. None of that. Let me stop and count the things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my journey. I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned along this journey. I'm grateful for the people who have been in this journey with me. I'm grateful for the people that I've met along the way. I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned along the way. I'm grateful for the networks that I've made. I'm grateful for the communications that I've learned to develop. I'm grateful for all of that. Develop an attitude of gratitude. Did everybody in my experience always mean me good? No. But did it work together for my good? Yes. And so for that, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for family and for friends who supported me. I'm grateful for those who pushed me sometimes when I didn't know how to push myself. I'm grateful for those who walked alongside me and pulled me when I sometimes got weary. I'm thankful for those who saw in me what I sometimes didn't see in myself. I'm talking to and about the graduates. I'm talking to those of us who can learn lessons from them. Thankful for the people who pushed me when I needed. Thankful for the people who pulled me when I needed. Thankful for the people who told me to keep going when I got tired. And what does my payback look like? How do I play it forward? I'm going to do for them I'm going to do for somebody else what they did for me. That's how you stay the course. That's how we stay the course. In difficult times, in chaotic times, in turbulent times, stay the course. because turbulence and difficulty and chaos, these are the things that invite us to become stronger, better, wiser. Those are the things that really teach us. Those are the situations that really teach us how to stay the course. So as I celebrate people who are graduating this time of year and graduating this season, I celebrate those of us who set goals at the beginning of the year and were on course. And even if it seems like your course sometimes has gotten a little rocky, you're still in and on purpose. Stay there and keep going. Stay the course no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, no matter how scary it seems sometimes. Stay the course. Keep going strong until you get to the end of the race. Keep going strong until you finish the contest. Keep going strong until you recognize the success. You've gotten farther now than you have when you started. Stay the course, finish strong, encourage somebody else to do it, help somebody else to do it. Be thankful for those who help you to do it. And congratulations to those of you who are recognizing the fruit of your labor and your successes in this season. This is how we stay the course. You all, let's keep doing what we do. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Let's keep our heads up, keep our hopes up. Let's stay safe, stay sane. Know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. I celebrate you all. And I want to thank you for spending these 1,800 seconds with me, no matter where you've allowed me to come into. Thank you all so much. And hey, I'll see you the next time I see you. Tell somebody, come on and let's talk to Cutler. And for goodness sakes, tell them, stay the course. Good night, everybody.